Baseball's back.
Can you say that one more time?
Baseball is back,
Let's
folks.
go!
Sources confirming earlier today that the MLBPA had agreed to MLB's latest offer. That means a lot of things, guys. That means spring training is going to start immediately. I had a source tell me that's likely going to be on Sunday. That means free agency is going to begin as soon as owners ratify this agreement, which would be by the end of the show. It's a snowball effect. Like, you have a lot of guys that were preparing. You have a lot of fans out there that were preparing for this day. And so the day we've been waiting for since our show has started, many fans have been waiting for since the end of the World Series has finally come.
It's been 99 days in this lockout. So why today, Russell? How did this transpire?
Well, we had seemed to be gaining momentum earlier in the week, and we came on the show and talked about everything that had been moving around. And then yesterday, it seemed to have stalled a little bit with the international draft. But this morning, talks began to pick up again after the provision between the league and the MLBPA that, all right, look, we will table this discussion on the international draft until July. But if we move that out of the way, we can really make headway on getting this deal solidified before the end of the day. And I know everybody's out there talking about, oh, well, the deadline. It was never real. Like, I know that was said, but they were going to continue no matter what, and they kept talking. And ultimately, earlier this afternoon, I tweeted it earlier that players had convened and they really took this offer seriously. And so, I think there was a lot of people that were concerned after I tweeted that the MLB Executive Subcommittee was going to vote no on the latest proposal. But it's interesting, guys. Like, the final vote was 26-12 in favor of the proposal. And rarely do you see the subcommittee not be the image of the entire PA. But you had a lot of guys out there, and I think this shows you had a lot of guys out there, a lot of players out there that were like, I really want to play. And I think we made a lot of ground. And if you look at what the initial offers were, when this thing started to what they ended up being, I think you can look at it from a player's perspective and be like, hey, we did work. We got a lot of the things we wanted. And 4 teams, the Cardinals, the Yankees, the Mets, and the Houston Astros voted no, along with the 8-player committee. But a resounding yes from the Players Association.
Real quick, because we're going to dive into a lot of the details here, but what are the biggest changes we're going to see this spring?
Well, I think you're going to see the universal DH. Finally, I know it's something that's been talked about for a while. In the shortened season, we had that too. And I think everybody was kind of concerned, like, oh, man, pitchers not hitting anymore. And it was fine. I think players, if you ask different players, they would prefer if they had a professional hitter doing that job.
Sure.
You will see injuries go down. You will see strikeouts go down out of that 9-hole for a lot of different teams. But, the international draft provision is going to be tabled full season, full pay. 162 games will be played this season.
Will you see an expanded playoffs this season too?
Yes, that will be 12-team playoffs starting this postseason.